If you're 6'3" like me and 17, 18 stone, and you like to stand up for yourself, you're gonna get into trouble, aren't you? But I wasn't bothered about fighting. I thought I'll have a fight with anybody. Win, lose or draw, I'm out there. Shirt off, done and dusted. You know, what can you get? A few cuts and bruises, maybe odd tooth miss, sprained nose or something. Man got cheeky to me, was getting it. Right on straight.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think I let myself down there, but I didn't want to get in the ring to then have a roll around. Didn't fancy it, but I was looking around for you. Even your missus was...
I worked all my life as a boxer to get to this point. I'm the #1 challenger, mandatory challenger. He said, I'll never get this slot again. I'll fight and I'll still beat him. No matter how I feel on the night, I won't feel like...
I'm a machine! Me! And can anybody question who I am here? If I say come on! We're fighting, men!
And just like that, it's official. John Fury and Carl Froch standing face to face on DAZN for the very first time. And it didn't stay calm for long. Because when you put these two men in the same room, tension doesn't build slowly, it explodes. Words were exchanged, things got heated, and the whole boxing world stopped to watch. So let's break down exactly what happened, what was said, and whether this rivalry is finally heading somewhere real.
Fortunately, that's me. I change in seconds, you know what I'm saying? I can go from being like this to being the wildest person in the world in about a second and a half.
Yeah.
You know,
2.5 million. Sign on the dotted line. John Fury wants this on record. At 61 years old, he's not talking about slowing down, he's talking about making history. But the question everyone's asking is simple: is this real? Or is this just John Fury doing what John Fury does best? Because on the other side of that contract is a man who still has very serious hands. And Carl Froch made his position very clear.
I'm gonna fight, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what I do. And what I want to do, really, is make history. I'll be the first 61-year-old man in history to ever take on a 3-time Hall of Famer in Carl Froch. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Carl Froch says he wouldn't want to punch John Fury in the face. But don't read that as weakness, that's confidence. He's looking at Fury and seeing a man he doesn't consider a real boxing threat. But then he leaves the door open, if it makes business sense. And that right there is the line that kept this whole thing alive. Because after that DAZN face-off turned heated, business sense started making a lot more sense to a lot more people.
Yeah, it just like, he gets upset and starts getting silly and starts saying, listen, I'll fight you. Starts calling me out. So just so we're clear, I didn't call John Fury out. And I've got no intention of fighting John Fury. But like he said, if it makes business sense, so if something stupid could happen, so for him, he wants to get paid. For me, I'd like to just set the record.
Duke McKenzie says what a lot of people are thinking. Froch's spite never left. That same aggression, that same heavy right hand, it didn't retire when he did. George Groves found that out the hard way in front of 80,000 people at Wembley. And McKenzie's warning is simple: don't let the age fool you. An older Froch is still more than enough for John Fury. And after that face-off on DAZN, Froch looked like he meant every word.
Career. And everybody knows Froch is a tough guy. And if Froch turns up, even though he's an old man now, he's nearly as old as me. No, he's not. He's quite younger than me, actually, Carl Froch. I'm 63. Anyway, but, you know, listen, even Carl Froch, at the age that he is at, would still be enough for John Fury.
And there it is, Carl Froch completely losing patience. Thug, imbecile, big idiot. These are not words you use about someone you're not taking seriously. Froch is furious, not scared, not entertained, genuinely angry. And when Carl Froch gets genuinely angry, history shows that something usually happens. That DAZN face-off was the moment all of this stopped being banter and started feeling very, very real.
So he's behaved like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that.
Johnny Nelson hits the nail on the head. John Fury gets into a moment and loses himself in it, and then has to live with the consequences. That face-off on DAZN was exactly one of those moments. He went in hot, the tension exploded, and now the pressure is on him to either back it up or back down. And knowing John Fury, backing down is not an option he recognizes.
The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted. a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out.
Isaac Lowe puts you right in that room. Over 500 people watching. John Fury in someone's face. Pushing, shoving. And a man with one of the shortest fuses in boxing standing at the center of it all. This wasn't a stage promo, this was a room that genuinely felt like it could go sideways at any second. And that energy, that real tension, is exactly why this face-off went everywhere.
To get in a man's face in front of a hall with over 500 people, what do you expect someone to do? Pushing and shoving, and we all know Big John's quick-tempered, you know what I mean? But he threw the headbutt first, so it is what it is. But I think when you're getting someone's first and you're tolerating and pushing someone's head back,
And while the talking is happening, both men are actually putting in work. This isn't just press conference noise, there are training clips out there, both of them preparing, both of them moving like this fight is coming. That changes things. When two men start training for each other, the conversation shifts from if to when.
Who
was that? Who was it that did that to? Because that Cuban did it to me, didn't he, in Ireland? Yeah. He went tap pump. It was fucking good, he was. Louis Garcia.
Come on, son! Give it to him, Dad! Show it his boss! Come on! Come on, Johnny!
Living in the woods, chopping trees, bare knuckle on a heavy bag. This is John Fury's training camp, and it is unlike anything you've ever seen in professional boxing. No trainer, no coach, no structure. Just pure raw preparation in his own way. And as mad as it sounds, you cannot question the man's commitment. He is genuinely preparing for this. The question is whether gypsy-style conditioning is enough to handle a man like Carl Froch.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer. We're just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. And I'm going to prove to everybody out there where there's a will.
Johnny Nelson lays out the business reality. John Fury kept raising the number 2.5 million, then 5, then 10, and Carl simply walked away from the table, priced himself out. But then that DAZN face-off happened. And when things get physical and personal in front of cameras and 500 people, money has a way of finding itself back to the table. Because now it's not just a fight, it's become personal.
John talked himself into a situation where what if Calais says, well, I'll give you X, Y, Z to fight Carl Froch. So I gather the last amount was 2.5 million. And I'm thinking, and Carl's like, and the thing is, I spoke to Carl last week at the Ricky thing, and he said, you know what, Johnny? He said, my man's priced himself out of it. You know, if we say, yeah, it'll be all right, give me 5 million. All right, give me 10 million. He's priced himself out of it. I like John. I get John. I like Carl. Carl's my boy. I respect him. It won't happen. It's just, I know it's bad, but it's fun watching these guys wind each other up.
Adam Smith watched that face-off and came away with one conclusion: let's make it happen. And Froch himself said it was all good fun. But here's the thing, when Carl Froch calls something fun, he means it in the way that a man who knocked out George Groves at Wembley calls things fun. That DAZN confrontation had real heat in it. And all good fun from Froch is basically an open invitation.
Carl Froch is a fighter to the core. So is John Fury. Listen, it's fun, it's banter, it's entertainment. Carl said to me afterwards, hey, it's all good fun, isn't it?
If they fought, who would win?
I mean, I don't think I would go against Carl Froch ever anyway.
Okay.
In a normal fight. I mean, obviously it's a long time since he's retired, but Carl Froch is a very, very, very top fighter.
That switch up there as well.
And John Fury's a big guy, right? And he's
unbelievable fight.
20 men couldn't hold him back. That's John Fury's version of a press conference. And after everything that went down at that DAZN face-off, the pushing, the shouting, the real tension, this is the energy he's bringing into it. He's not cooling off. He's not stepping back. He's louder, more aggressive, and more committed than ever. Now hear what Carl Froch had to say about fighting anyone who steps up.
William Froch You can see I'm fucking ready to go, mate. It took 20 fucking men to hold me. It took fucking 20 men to hold me back. When I hear you fucking word, I'll push them super like beats right your fucking ass. Get me fucking paid now, be here. Here, look here. I don't give a fuck. I ain't go.
Carl Froch just opened the door to anyone over 50, and John Fury is 61. On the cobbles, in the ring, in a pub car park, Froch does not care. This is a man who retired from world title fights and still has that same fire burning. That DAZN face-off proved it. Froch didn't back down, didn't look away, didn't flinch. And those words right there tell you exactly why.
Anybody over 50, I'll fight him. 'Cause I'm a fighting man. Any man born from his mother, I'll fight him. Over 50 years old, on the hard road, in the ring, in the pub, in the back of a gypsy caravan site. You're not a fighting man, because I'll have a fight with you. I'll fight you for a fiver. I'll beat you for a tenner. I'll do you both for 15. Whew, I've got to take a breather. Listen, I'm back.
Charity. Carl Froch said the money could go to charity. That's the level of respect, or lack of it, that he has for this as a payday. He's not doing it for money. He's doing it to prove a point. And that makes him more dangerous, not less. Because a man who doesn't need the money and still wants the fight is a man who wants to hurt you. That DAZN face-off confirmed exactly that energy.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch. And I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, "Oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right." And Carl Froch basically said, "All right, well, if we arrange payment, it can..."
Gareth A. Davies gives you the inside look. John Fury told him directly, "I don't want people calling me out because I will take any man on." That's not a threat for cameras. That's who he is. And when Carl Froch started calling him out publicly, something switched in John Fury. That passion, that pride, that absolute refusal to back down, that's what made that DAZN face-off the moment it became.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him literally face to face, and I said, well, what is upset? He said, "I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on."
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy.
Eddie Hearn wouldn't back against Froch on the cobbles ever. That is a strong statement from the most powerful promoter in boxing. He respects the danger Froch brings even outside a ring. But he also acknowledges Fury's size and unpredictability. Illegal moves, raw aggression, pure chaos. This matchup has no clean answer, and that's exactly why after that DAZN face-off, the whole world wants to see it settled properly.
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles. Ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean?
So there it is. A DAZN face-off that turned genuinely heated. Two men who clearly cannot stand each other. A boxing world completely divided. And Eddie Hearn himself saying he'd never back against Froch on the cobbles. The tension has exploded, and now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop a comment right now who wins if this actually happens. John Fury or Carl Froch. Like the video if you want to see this fight made, and subscribe because the moment anything official drops, we will be the first ones covering it.